Hey all, what's good? What's really good? How you doing? Okay, so for those of you that know me closely or personally, you know that I talk about progression a lot, like obnoxiously so, a lot. And part of it is because I'm afraid of becoming stagnant in life. And part of it is because I know that a lot of people, myself included, have an untapped potential that just sometimes isn't utilized. And I think part of this has to do with the fact that we live in a society where media tells us that the quickest is the easiest and best way. Do you need to lose 30 pounds in 30 days? Cool. We've got a product that will make you lose 30 pounds in 30 minutes. What? Like, no. We are a part of nature, whether or not we like to admit it. Just like nature, we all have to start somewhere, and we don't just magically end up where we need to be overnight. As a tree, you don't just go from a seedling all the way to like a freaking 150-foot tree. No, you have to be planted in the ground, sprout up, and then survive not only being eaten or almost eaten by like squirrels and other little scavengers, but you have to survive seasons and the winds and the rains and blah, blah. Like, that is kind of similar to our path as humans. We have to survive. We have a lot of life adversities. We have a lot of turmoil that we have to get through. And in the end, we end up becoming better for it and stronger, but you can't expect that to happen overnight. Personally speaking, the way I see progression is, it's a pretty simple process actually, but we kind of identify an issue. And that doesn't happen until after we've reached a norm. So we kind of become complacent in life, or comfortable, I guess. And after a while, we start to notice little things like, I used to personally bake an entire pan of brownies and eat the entire pan of brownies within 24 hours. To me, that used to be like a totally normal thing. Like, hey, I like brownies. Brownies are delicious. I'm going to eat the whole pan. It's not good for me. Doesn't make me feel good. Did I mention it's not good for me? So eventually I started to have health issues. So I started to think, what is this? Like, why do I feel so sick all the time? Like, what is causing me to feel so sick? So then you start to analyze. You start to kind of take inventory. Okay, well, I do eat entire brownies every couple of days. That could be it. Or it could be the fact that I'm not sleeping. It could be this, could be that. There's always going to be a lot of factors that kind of contribute to your whole entire status, I guess. So you identify that inventory, which can be fixed, and then you go, okay, well, what can I do to fix this issue? Okay, well, I eat an entire pan of brownies in 24 hours. Well, I guess I could make them less often and see how that goes. Okay, so for a while you stop making brownies as often and you start to feel better. It's like, oh, right, cool. Then eventually it's like, well, I miss the brownies and I'm feeling better, so I must be able to eat the entire pan of brownies again. Well, that's not how it works. So that's kind of the whole process of figuring out what works best for you. So eventually you'll kind of get to the point where it's like, well, you know what? Like, for my health, for my well-being, for my emotional status, I have to move on and I can't do this anymore. And that's how you adapt. You just kind of basically reach a comfortable norm. You identify something, you take inventory, and then eventually you make moves and you kind of adjust and then you move forward. And honestly, that's kind of just my goal in life, is just to identify different things that I know contribute to my lack of well-being, and then I note them, I know what contributes to them, how it affects me, and then I make small adaptations to better suit me. And it takes a while. I'm not going to say that I stopped eating a pound of brownies overnight, because I ate them a lot and they were really good and I still really like brownies, but I know that if I eat an entire pan, it's going to really F my system up because I'm not built to eat an entire pan of brownies. No one is. So I think that if you were to take that and you were to break your life down into 6 different categories: social, emotional, mental, physical, financial, and spiritual, and you looked at all of the ways that your life is influenced, or all of the things that influence those categories in your life, and you know what is beneficial and what's detrimental, and then you fix them slowly by just noting and then making adaptations, you would be so much farther than just expecting yourself to be an entire 135 foot, strong tree overnight. It's not going to happen, guys. That's not what we're built for. So, yeah, identify, take inventory, and adapt. Move forward. And it's going to be painful, and it's going to be slow, and there's going to be seasons of your life where you grow more than you do others. Just like nature has different seasons where it grows more than others, there's always going to be a fall. There's always going to be winter where it's dead and cold and silent and rainy if you live in Washington. And then eventually it comes back around and you hit spring and things pick up again. There's always going to be change in life. That is like the only thing that we're promised. The only thing you're promised is change and that you are there for yourself. So I guess kind of take what you want out of that, but that is currently how I am trying to progress as a woman and as an individual in society. So tell me what you think, and tell me what your adaptations and what you do towards your 6 levels of well-being to better yourself as a person. All right, guys. Love you. I'll talk to you later.